And a very exciting story for you now. We here at WTOV 9 are celebrating 70 years of broadcasting. Over the next 3 days, we will look back at some of our biggest events and shows in station's history as News 9's Bill Phillips did a lot of the work at uncovering this.
A lot of help, a lot of people pointing me in the right direction, finding old clips and people helping with the editing. So just a lot of fun to look through it and just some stories that you hear and you remember and you think, oh, wow, those were good times. Join me as together we turn back the hands of time and look at the past of WTOV 9.
Television is the newest of the electronic developments. It must be operated with a sense of obligation and the responsibility to the public welfare. At WSTV-TV, we chose to accept that responsibility rather than the applause for our participation in television during these pioneering years. What God hath wrought is a new science, and with it, our responsibility for its proper application.
With those words, WSTV went on the air December 24th, 1953.
That was legendary broadcaster Red Donnelly looking back at the station's first day on the air. WSTV, as it was known then, was the first station built by the engineers that would run the station. The first broadcast focused on the tower that would deliver the signal to Ohio Valley homes. Tom Aram directed the first show.
The program in dedication of the tower and showed construction of the tower. It was narrated by Roy Briscoe, and it took 15 minutes, and then we joined the president lighting the Christmas tree at 5 o'clock, I think it was.
2 years later, WSTV had a hit on its hands with 19 time with Stan Scott.
Hi, I'm Stan Scott. Myself, along with George Wilson, bring you 19 time every Saturday afternoon. We have kids from all over the tri-state area dancing to our music, and the music, of course, is the tops from all over the land, in particular, the popular songs here in the tri-state area.
And American Bandstand's host, Dick Clark, was impressed.
It'll be at 1:30.
I look forward to it. In other words, I will follow you?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Because 19 time is on from 12:30 until 1:30.
I feel like I ought to turn around and look back and say, he went that way.
Another early hit that ran on WSTV for years was the show Tell All. It was the first program of its kind in the country. It featured all of the station's top talent, including host Wayne Van Dyne.
Well, news first, then live guests. And, the guests could be on anything from politics to hunting and fishing, to maybe a coach. Tell All was our attempt here at Channel 9 to do something different. I mean, like everybody else, we had a noon news, but we wanted to evolve into something a little more folksy, a little more informal.
In 1960, Tell All and WSTV were front and center when then presidential hopeful John F. Kennedy campaigned in the Mountain State during the West Virginia primary.
West Virginia really helped to really press him into the presidency. So he spent a lot of time in Wheeling and in the Weirton area, and on Channel 9, of course, also.
In 1979, WSTV was sold to Ziff Davis, and that year the call letters for the station changed to WTOV, and the station's network affiliation changed from CBS to NBC. The 1980s saw WTOV 9 open a newsroom in Wheeling as the station expanded its coverage in both Ohio and West Virginia.
The Ohio Valley's finest hour with Ken Kadar in Wheeling, Red Donnelly in Steubenville, meteorologist Mark Fuchs, and Ed Warren on sports. This is News 9.
Have you ever wondered how old Snowbird is? Well, Snowbird arrived at WTOV 9 in 1988. Two of WTOV 9's most dominant programs arrived in 1988 and 1989. Sports Friday, which gives viewers the most comprehensive coverage of high school sports, and the Game of the Week.
Thanks to our high-definition mobile production truck and always improving technology, we've expanded our football schedule. 21 games broadcast this past fall, including all regular season games, now broadcast live. And we've expanded our live broadcasts to sports in both the winter and the spring, as well as 18 years and counting of bringing you a live high school football awards show.
The 1990s brought with it new programs like News 9 Sunrise and News 9 Live at 5, and live coverage of Jamboree in the Hills. It was groundbreaking coverage at the time and was honored as the Country Music Event of the Year.
I want to go live. Like, there's this festival and it would be so much fun. And the next thing I know, you know, they called Jamboree and we were starting to do, we did the first year. I think Lionel Cartwright,
Right.
who's from Glendale, West Virginia,
Right.
he opened it up in the new location, and that's where it all started.
WTOV9 became a fully digital station in 2009. The first broadcast of News 9 Saturday Morning, that arrived in 2011. One constant throughout the 70 years has been the best weather coverage with the latest technology.
The early days of broadcasting weather at WTOV9 featured rudimentary weather graphics. They were magnets that you would place on a board of sunshine, snowflakes, raindrops, and move them across the country. Sometimes I wish we could go back to those simpler days. By the 1980s, everything was done with computers. And who could forget the Super Doppler 9000, the most powerful radar in the Ohio Valley? I remember when I started in the late 90s, the computer system we had, it took a half an hour for it to render a simple motion like a cold front moving through. Now everything is done on the fly. So the weather has adapted and will continue to adapt in the years ahead.
Hi, I'm Jamie Baker. Thanks for watching. Here's another video for you to watch, and please be sure to subscribe to our channel.